Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It has been about a minute since I have actually put out a video. I'm gonna catch you guys up because a lot has happened and it hasn't been stuff that you really need to see me actually do and complete in here, because if you don't know, this Jeep is 150% full custom. So I'm gonna catch you guys up because there's been some changes. Drop a comment, let me know if you have any questions or if you just have any input or advice, and we're gonna get to it. Couple of things I want to let you guys in on and let you know about me in this garage if you're new to the channel. But those of you that have watched and followed along, my whole thing is that I do everything in this garage with my own hands. I do everything in this garage with, you know, pretty basic, affordable tools. I don't use crap tools generally, but I use tools that, you know, maybe the professional mechanic wouldn't buy using them every day. And I do that because I want to show you guys how to actually build something in your own garage and make it super cool. The big bad Jeeps that you guys see out there on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else are awesome, but they're huge money.
Show me the money!
And if you build it yourself, it doesn't have to be all that expensive. So the goal of this channel is actually to produce really good content showing you guys how to build stuff yourself in your garage. I'm not going to push companies that I don't truly believe in. In fact, any of the companies I do work with, I am very upfront and clear and basically tell them that if I find a flaw, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not one of those guys. This is not one of those channels that's going to just glaze over that kind of stuff and leave you hanging. So without further ado, here in my own home, two-car garage with my family stuff stored all around us, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the changes that have happened with this custom rig behind me and what I've done to actually make this stuff work. So you guys saw me build this Super Duty Dana 60. 1, 2, 3. And in the last video, you saw me put together this Artec Industries high steer mount. I'm still a firm believer with all my experience using a bunch of different companies that the Artec Industries high steer mount is the one to go with. If you want to know why, you can go check out that video. You want to redo your Dana 60 or 14 bolt, you can go check out those videos. But I also showed you guys early on how I was going about building my own custom frame, because this old CJ wasn't up to the task of actually holding up to a nice big beautiful V8. We're going to talk about that in just a second because that was one of the changes, or a 43-inch tire. When I first got this Jeep, it actually came with an old Chevy 350 in it out of a 1970 Corvette. I talked all about that motor. I even had a machine shop take that motor apart, bore it out, rebuild it, put a cam in it. It was going to be really awesome. But then the reality struck that I was going to have to break it in with a carburetor, then convert it to fuel injection, buy all the accessories, and the cost of doing that was just going to be a lot of money, when I could have sold that motor, taken a little bit of a hit, and then taken that cash and rolled it over into an LS. I picked up this Chevy LS. This is a 2003, so it doesn't have all that junk on it and that cylinder deactivation stuff that causes all sorts of problems. I picked up this awesome intake manifold, which looks a little bit better than that one over there on the floor, but also has long runners, which give you a lot of torque down low. I put an awesome cam in this motor, which is gonna make it sound just like this. And then I put these awesome headers on it. Did a couple of other things, got it mounted in there with the help of a friend and my son, made some motor mounts, and it worked. The front of this frame actually has been completely redesigned. Those were the old pieces. It absolutely killed me at this point in the process to have to chop the whole front of the frame off, because that was the most tedious part to make. And then remake it. The problem is I wasn't gonna have enough up travel for my Dana 60 in the front with a 43-inch tire and then have a 16-inch coilover without the Jeep being a mile high in the air. And that is the last thing that I wanted. So what I decided to do was basically cut everything off here forward and remake everything. Instead of it jogging in like it did before and then rising, I kind of had it come in and then rise at the same time. It also rose a bunch more so that it gave me the up travel here in the front. But that lended itself to another problem. In order to actually get the frame high enough and keep where your hood sits in line with the firewall so we don't have a weird angle because the body height didn't change, I actually did chop 3 inches out of this grill down here and lower it down into the frame. So doing that caused more problems. Because we're doing a triangulated 4-link up here in the front, my brackets were awful close to that radiator after I lowered the grill. So I had to raise the radiator in the frame another 1.5 inches, but the shape of the hood, even though it sticks up a little higher, will clear this and it won't be a problem. Those are things that are completely custom, and that's just the stuff you run into when you do a build like this, that you guys don't really need to see me drill out the shell of my grill, move the radiator up, like no one cares, right? The bottom line is this Jeep is about ready. We're gonna start mocking up the 4-link rear suspension in the back. And that, guys, presents a whole nother bag of problems because nobody makes a 4-link rear suspension for a CJ5. And nobody makes a 4-link rear suspension for a CJ5 that's on a completely one-off custom frame that I built here in my garage on that floor. It's kind of close to a TJ frame, kind of, not really. But Artec Industries sent over some TJ brackets, basically their easy 4-link kit. I'm gonna see if we can make those brackets work in this frame and end up with a triangulated long arm suspension. And guys, like so much other stuff, when you're building a custom rig, it's really not all that complicated if you have someone to give you the knowledge. So that video is coming out in about a week. Stick around, you're gonna wanna check it out. So with my wheelbase set up at 113 inches, that motor now in there, enough room for my crankshaft pulley and my electric fans, enough room for everything. Maybe not enough room in the firewall. We might have to do some stuff there, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, there's a lot more stuff coming in this rig. Once the rear's done, we move on to the front. Once that's done, we're gonna put some coilovers and some bypasses in it. And then, guys, it's on to doing all sorts of stuff to the body to make everything actually clear. So guys, not my normal video at all. Didn't really show you guys how to do anything, but between the 4th of July, going away with my family, making some changes to this thing that nobody really wanted to see, you know, we're kind of caught up, all right? Guys, I appreciate the support. The next video is coming in just about a week, and we are gonna nail out that 4-link rear suspension, get it in this rig, have the tubes in there, basically have it set up to where it's gonna perform really freaking good, hitting rocks at 700 miles an hour. Anyway, guys, I want you to make sure you click that subscribe button, share this video with your friends, and like I said earlier, make sure you comment below, ask a question, say hi, let me know if you have any advice. We're gonna go from there, all right? Stick around, and why don't you guys get out there, make sure you build something.